rights, and it's nice to see an alternative movement without naming it to be something as ambitious as like the new country, but just having aligned people looking at the future of internet privacy and yeah, just other type of communications, let's say. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that you're open to do this with me, because the kind of people I invite to this, um, I call it podcast, but really it's the interview series, are
Uh-huh.
those that I believe leaders of the future humanity, to be honest, because I think it's the consciousness shift that we're all really observing here. And with that consciousness shift, um, the new leadership will emerge naturally. And I believe that you have the power to be that guide for a lot of people, and help us connect with our higher selves, help us to really see our true nature. Because I see how well connected that you are with your work and you're showing up in this world. So introduce yourself, Willpower. Who
Mhm.
are you? How do you usually present
Okay.
yourself?
Okay. Well, first, I'd like to say thank you. And then also that I see the leader that you are. There's not many, actually. Yeah, I don't know anyone else who sees as much as you see and who embodies it. So
Thank you.
I recognize that and I see it.
Thank you so much.
So it's amazing. So yeah, who am I? um, so I'm willpower. I'm a universal being. I'm a spirit that's here, embodied in the physical world. And I spend my time in, actually, I grew up in the music world. And, but I always had something for technology. And I think that comes from mathematics and, um, and something for expression and something for freedom. Because I grew up kind of looking at my ancestral past and then also looking at things happening in the world and always questioning the world that I lived in. And as I grew up, I didn't really relate to what was going on in the outside world. So I found peace in books from, I would say, ancient Chinese wisdom from monks and temples and things like that. And and then I found my voice through. I grew up in hip hop culture, and so what what I like was the political side of the music. People that use the music to talk about injustices and kind of yeah stand for what they stand for as human beings. Over time, that kind of message was kind of silenced, but it's still present. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then I kind of fell in love with programming and coding in terms of visual arts. And so basically, technology as a tool for art and creativity. But because I also grew up, the reason why I started writing lyrics at 13 was I was basically writing, I was basically like a rebel. And I was like writing anti government songs because I thought that the government was oppressive to the people and I didn't see good in what they were doing. And so um, that's how I started writing music. And so yeah, now I combine um, art, technology, music to spread my message, but also to bring humans together in a physical space where people can touch each other and experience something they may have never experienced before, in order to kind of release the shell or the image we put on when we go out into the public. I'm trying to melt that away so we can show our true hearts and emotions out in the open, because that way we're not showing each other our masks. We're showing each other where we are and who we are.
Yes. So why is it important to show who we truly are without these masks? Um, why now?
um, I think it's healing. First of all,
Hmm.
I think that if we put a mask on, we're not truly expressing ourselves, so we hold back. And when we hold back, we're not expressing. That energy stays inside of us, and I think that can affect our nervous system, our well-being, and um, but I think if we're just releasing that mask or that shell, I think we're just feeling better in our skin, and um, and then when we communicate the honesty that's there, will open the honesty in others, and I think that can um, that can be beneficial for everyone.
Right. Truth, truth. Yeah, I feel like it's the way to telepathy, to be honest, is that
Uh,
authentic expression, full on 100% truth with each of us, and it's expressed, I would say, differently with each individual as we're reflecting different sides of each other to each other, and it's very natural that we become better with those that have more masks off, let's say. And how did you find this voice? What was your journey? Can you share a little bit of how you started to really engage with your higher self, with your truer self? What helped you on your way?
Actually, in terms of higher self, I think it started when I was young, so maybe around 4 years old. I was receiving messages from a higher realm, from a non-physical space, and basically the messages I was receiving were guiding me through life.
Hmm.
So as a little child, adults tell you things, but then I found that the world, this physical world, this earth that I lived in, wasn't really resonating with. It wasn't showing me the potential that I was seeing in my own mind,
Hmm.
and in relation to kind of the world that I connected to, this non-physical. It's like I was connected to a stream of consciousness. It felt like another dimension, and I was being communicated to. And
Yeah.
I was seeing the potential that we have as humans to live in amazing happiness. And I was seeing that everything on earth was the opposite. And so for me, that's how it started. And I would say that those messages came from a higher place. But what it also did is I just, I think it opened the gate between myself and what could be a spiritual world or a celestial realm. And for me, it was like a guidance, a voice of guidance, very young.
I see, I see. Did your parents support you in this, or they been questioning this? What were their feelings about you going your own way, let's say, and follow your own voice?
Oh yeah, so that's interesting. So that's something I never communicated to them
Mm.
when I was young. But one thing about me is that my parents could never control me. So adults did whatever they could um, to control a child, tell them to do this or to not do that, or if you do this, you're going to get punished. And the thing about me is, I wasn't afraid of the punishment. I
Ah.
even when I got beat physically, I would stand up and and let the adult like literally beat me and stand my ground. And so they tried everything to control me, but I was always like kind of uncontrollable as a kid. But I had positive intentions, but I was also kind of wild, kind of like a free kid,
Yeah,
uh, like things that I don't even remember. And when I'm told these stories, I'm like, wow, I was crazy.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Look, you lived in New York during the hip hop emergence, let's say. What was it like? Can you share some of these stories of how you observed it, who you've met? How did this influence in your development?
Yeah.